Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today we are getting into the most massive unhaul I think I've ever unhauled. I am getting rid of a ton of books. If you missed it, I just set up my brand new library in my new house. Here it is. I have a whole video setting it up, organizing all my books. If you missed it, I will link it up above and down below. In that video, I mentioned that I had a ton of books stacked to the side for an unhaul video, and this is that unhaul. I got a comment in the comments of that bookshelf organization video that suggested that when I do my unhaul, I just give 3 words as to the reason why I'm unhauling the book. And since I have such a large volume, I thought that was a great idea. I'm gonna modify it a little bit though, but thank you for the inspiration if you commented that. I'm gonna go based on the title. Okay, so if the title of the book has 3 words, I'll do 3 words. If it has 6 words, I'll do 6 words. If it's a 1-word title, then I only get 1 word to explain to you why I'm unhauling the book. We are going to rapid fire run through all of these books that I am purging from my shelves. Not all of them are because I didn't like the book. Some of them I've just outgrown. Some of them are not for me. Some of them are problematic and I don't want them on my shelves, and various other reasons. But we will get into it. And before we get into it, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Magic Mind. I take my daily little Magic Mind every single day. Let's open it up. A new pack this morning, and we will take this together. The cutest little baby green juice shot. I love them. Bottoms up, bottoms up. Literally so good, so easy. If you've never heard of these cutie little wellness shots, Magic Mind shots do so many good things. They reduce stress, improve focus, sharpen your mind, and calm your energy, all with just this little tiny baby shot that you just saw me take in 10 seconds. And this stuff really works. It has all of the science backed behind it, great ingredients like L-theanine and matcha for lower stress and energy, but not the kind of energy that comes from coffee. Because when I have caffeine from coffee, I get jittery and irritable really quickly. When I take Magic Mind, I really do notice like a consistent sense of energy and motivation that feels a lot more natural. And of course, I also love the mood boosting benefits as well. And there's a ton of vitamins packed in here to boost immunity, which I love, especially during cold and flu season. They're so convenient. They're shipped right to your door and you can take them in so many different ways. Sometimes I have a busy morning and I don't get around to taking my shot midway through the day. Sometimes it's the first thing I do and I will mix it into a matcha latte or overnight oats. It's just so versatile, but either way you do it, it comes with the same great benefits. So if you want to give Magic Mind a try, you can get 20% off your first order with code HALEYH20. Just go down below and check out my link, use my code, and try out your first round of Magic Mind. Thank you so much to Magic Mind for sponsoring this unhaul video, and now let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna start out with The Lost Night by Andrea Bartz. This is a thriller that I read earlier this year, and I get 3 words to describe it to you. I'm gonna say exceedingly average, boring. Sorry. She Started It by Sean Gilbert is another thriller. It's kind of like bachelorette party drama. I believe I read it either early this year or last year. I get 3 words for this one as well. I'm gonna say characters so annoying. Next up, I have Exposure by Ramona Emerson, and I actually haven't read this book, so I'm not gonna do the like word thing, but publishers do this really annoying thing where when you're on a PR list, sometimes they will send you an ARC and a finished copy, and I just think that is really excessive and really annoying. Like if I get an ARC, I really don't need a finished copy copy of a book, or if I don't get around to the arc, like, why would you send me the finished copy? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It feels so wasteful and excessive. So publishers, if you're listening, please stop doing that. But also, I have a finished copy of this book, so I do not need the arc. And I tried to sell arcs on Pango Books, and I got reported, and they almost shut down my account, even though I was selling it after the book had been out for years. So it's not like I'm exposing some weird secrets. But yeah, I unfortunately cannot sell these. So this will just be donated to a little free library in my neighborhood because I have 2 copies. An Honest Lie by Taryn Fisher. What a weird fucking thriller. This was one of my worst books of last year. I get 3 words to describe it. What the fuck? 9 Perfect Strangers by Liane Moriarty. I actually did not hate this book at all, and I really liked the show adaptation. I get 3 words for this one as well. Worst cover ever. Sorry. 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. I thought this book was fine. I mean, it's 50 Shades, you know what I mean? Just don't need it. The Night She Went Missing by Kristen Bird. I read this thriller a couple of years ago. Could not tell you one thing about it. So fucking forgettable what happened. Geek Love by Catherine Dunn. I literally just read this one. Kinda disappointed. Perfect Little Lives by Amber and Danielle Brown. I absolutely loved their first release last year. This is the release from February this year, and unfortunately it didn't go the same way for me. Nothing happened. Sad. Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. This is more of a mystery, and I actually gave this 4 stars. I really liked it, but it's a really long series now, and they're all really big chunky books, and I'm not reading all of that. The Engagement Party by Darby Kane. I should have listened to all of you in the comments telling me what you were telling me about this book. So fucking boring. Next up, we have a Christmas romance from Jenny Bayliss. This is Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. I remember this just being like cute, fun, neutral. I would describe it as Hallmark movie with no smut. Dear Evan Hansen, this is a YA book adaptation of a musical. And oh my god, they literally just named the creators of the show. I don't even know who wrote this. I don't know why this exists, but I don't want it on my shelves. It's embarrassing. I don't want to own this. I love Dear Evan Hansen, but like it's become a meme. Like Ben Platt 30. Why did they have a 30-year-old play a teenager? The Rewind by Alison Wynne Scotch. This is a romance that tells you it's going to be magical realism and so much fun, but it's actually insufferable people. This one was actually really cutesy. This is Royal Holiday by Jasmine Guillory. Honestly, I just don't love having a ton of holiday books on my shelves because I live in my home with my library in it 24/7, and like I don't like Christmas vibes 24/7. I barely like the Christmas vibes when it's Christmas time. I would much rather everything be spooky all the time. So I'm kind of getting rid of quite a few like holiday reads. Nothing against this book though. It was cute, and it's about old people romance. Yes, old people's one word. Or how about we do geriatric romance? Well, not geriatric. They're like in their 50s or 60s. I don't know. It was sweet. It was old people. Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. This is actually one of my favorite thrillers of the year, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. But again, I have multiple copies. Actually, they sent me an ARC. They sent me an e-ARC. They sent me a finished copy, and I got sent a copy from Book of the Month, which like I'm not complaining that I have 4 copies of one of my favorite books of the year, but I just feel like that's so excessive, so we don't need that. Next up, we have The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I just talked about this in my October wrap-up. If you want my full thoughts, you can watch that video. I'll link it up above and down below. Ooh, I got quite a few words here. I have 5 words to work with. I'll say too many perspectives. Speed up. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. YA historical mystery. It was fine. It was fine. I had a fine time reading it, but I don't read YA. That's kind of a lie, but I don't read a ton of it. Pond by Claire Louise Bennett. I'm actually so sad to be getting rid of this because this is such a beautiful book, and in theory I like it, but my one word is gonna have to be boring. Ugh. Blood Like Mine by Stuart Neville, another one that I haven't read yet because I have multiple copies. Publishers, why do you do this? I am gonna read that one though. That one sounds really, really good to me. Next up we have The Therapist by B.A. Paris. This was a very average thriller from a couple years ago. It's fine. Next up I have Them by McKay Watson, which I had a whole breakdown about this book in a vlog. If I can find the vlog where I had my crying breakdown rant, I will link it up above and down below and you can watch that for full thoughts. My one word is gonna be misogyny. Next up we have The Upside of Being Down by Jen Gotch, and the more that I read about this book, the less I want to read it. I actually have not read this, but from what I've seen online, I just don't want to touch this. I know it's gonna piss me off as a therapist. I'm gonna say, if you're not licensed, stop. Next up I have The Last Time I Saw You by Liv Constantine. I know what you're probably thinking. Hailey, what? You love Liv Constantine. And I do. I really, really love Liv Constantine. Unfortunately, I accidentally bought 2 of this book. Okay, this one was on me. I had a hardcover that somehow came into my possession, but then I got really excited seeing this $2 copy of the paperback at Half Price Books. It was like in the clearance section and I was like, oh my god, Liv Constantine paperback for $2. I don't think I have that. I don't remember this cover. Yeah girl, because you have the hardcover and it's a different cover. So my words will be keeping the hardcover book. Slay. Attached at the Hip by Christine Riccio. This is a reality TV, kind of like cutesy contemporary romance. It actually sounds so much fun, but same situation. Publishers, why did you send me a finished copy and an ARC? I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I know some people would rather have a finished copy. Me, I don't care. I'm not like that. I like paperback ARCs. Am I gonna go through and try to compare what's different between the ARC and the finished copy? No. Who has the time? Unless like it's my favorite book of all time, I'm not doing all that. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I have not read this and I've been telling myself that I'm gonna read this chunk ass historical fiction for like years. I fear I'm not. Next up we have The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. Girl, I read this so long ago, literally years and years and years ago. I remember literally nothing about this book other than like religious rhetoric. So I'm gonna say God, what can I say about God that the internet won't like put me on blast for? Just read the Bible, okay? If you want to know about God, just read the freaking Bible. And you know what? Don't get me on my religious trauma shit. The Bible's a metaphor, okay? Everything's a freaking metaphor. So if you read that Bible, don't take it that seriously, girl. It's a metaphor. And it's also from like 1 million freaking years ago. So like, chill. Now, see, we're getting into the section of like, why do I still own these type of beat? The Help by Catherine Stockett. I actually really liked it when I first read it. I love the movie, but here's the thing, Miss Catherine Stockett, okay, she's white. Next up we have a smutty little romance, Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Roberts. I will say not continuing the series, meh. Next up we have a YA romance, The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I liked it. Won't reread. Hunting Annabelle by Wendy Hurd. Y'all are gonna hear about this one in my worst books of the year. I hate to say it because I actually enjoy Wendy Hurd, but this book was weird, confusing. Another thriller here, we have Pretty Things by Janelle Brown. I'm gonna say just okay. The American Boyfriend by Ivy Niao. I actually really liked this book. I thought it was interesting and not a lot of people talk about it. It's a really tiny, summery, easy to read thriller, but it's falling apart. The next two, I'm gonna combine the titles so I can get a higher word count so I can say what I really, really want to say, okay? And what What these two books that I'm getting rid of have in common is they are touted all over Book Talk, okay? The Arrangement and The Perfect Marriage. And I rated both of these semi-highly. I think I gave The Arrangement 4 stars and The Perfect Marriage 4.5 stars. But here is the thing. Book Talk recommendations will bamboozle you. Take with that what you will. Next up, we have what a lot of people think is like one of the OG extreme horror books, The Summer I Died by Ryan C. Thomas. And I just have to say, underwhelming, not edgy, meh. It's not even like crazy problematic and offensive. Like, why is that? Why do people love that book so much? Everything happens off page. It's not even like one for the edgy boys. Like, it's not even like weirdly racist or misogynistic. Like, why do they like it? Like, genuinely, it's not good. Next up, we have The Nesting by C.J. Cook. Honestly, I just never think about this book being harsh. I wanted more room on my shelves. Secluded Cabin Sleeps 6 by Lisa Unger. This is a thriller that came out earlier this year or end of last year. I read it this year and I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay, but not good enough. Hee hee. Next up, we have a little like memoir advice thing by Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark, who run My Favorite Murder podcast, which I used to listen to all the time. This book is called Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered, which is their tagline, and I definitely enjoyed this book when I read it, but true crime and I don't mesh anymore. Next up, we have The Clinic by Kate Quinn. This was a book club book of mine from earlier this year, and I liked it. I mean, I thought it was fine, but don't need. Oh my god, you guys, it just started raining outside. Wait, this is so magical and cozy. I'm in my cute little library, dragging books, and it's raining outside. I literally love it here. These are the vibes. Hopefully you can hear the rain a little. Next book that I'm getting rid of, I have not read. It is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I might regret unhauling this, I'm not gonna lie, but it just does not sound like it's for me. I won't read it soon. And I'm gonna be real about that. You know, I'm not gonna keep something on my shelves just for the sake of, having another book on my shelves. Like, I think that's so stupid. I'm over that. I just want things that I love surrounding me. So if there's a book on these shelves, these here shelves, that does not vibe with me, we're getting it out. It's Hailey core only from now on. Same kind of deal with this one, Age of Vice by Deepti Kapoor. I have not read it. Look at this. Look at this. Too long. No, same situation. Okay, Dear Mrs. Bird by A.J. Pierce. I'm sure this is a lovely book. I wouldn't know. I haven't read it. Historical fiction? No. Kevin Kwan. I absolutely love Crazy Rich Asians. I love the book. I love the adaptation. It's so just decadent and beautiful. So I love Kevin Kwan's writing. This is his newer one, Sex and Vanity. I haven't heard very good things about it. It's a really heavy book. It's a really long book. Won't read soon. And the last book that I'm unhauling today is Peach Blossom Spring by Melissa Fu, which I think this is such a beautiful book. But y'all, this was sent to me and I'm not interested in a book set in 1938. Like, historical shit, no. And I'm just keeping it real. Like, I don't want to waste space anymore. I would rather give these books to homes that are going to love them and cherish them, rather than just having them sit on my shelves for years with me saying, oh, I'm gonna get around to it. Girl, no, I'm not. I want to read horror and thrillers. Why would I keep historical fiction? So that's the real tea from me. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this purge of my shelves and hearing my little explanations. I hope you got enough info. It didn't feel like I was giving you a lot, but what you need to know is it's not staying on my shelves. If I've read it, probably for good reason. If I haven't read it, I'm just probably not interested in it, and that doesn't mean anything. Like, you can go read all of these books and love them, and I'm really happy for you. So that is gonna be it from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to go down below and check out Magic Mind. You can use my code to get 20% off of your first order. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And of course, go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!